Hey guys, and welcome back to this tiny corner of the internet. February, was the month a partial success or total failure? You're watching It's Tale Time. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'll be reviewing February just as I've been doing for my other monthly reviews. If you're new to my channel, however, welcome. I'll do a quick run through of how I'll be doing this. I won't be ranking the songs, just reviewing them, rating them in different categories, namely hook as in how catchy it is, replayability as in the longevity of the songs, the production of the songs, the structure, and the album's B-sides. Without further ado, let's dive right in.
I'm a child, 너가 바란 대로 못 돼. Have a night, 저장간 필요 없다.
Highly anticipated since over a month prior to its release, Mark's solo Child was the R&B to acoustic / EDM track to perfectly hit the month off. The organic soundscape of the song with the guitar and the drum kit in the chorus adds to a very nostalgic feeling that the song plays off throughout the song. The concept of the chorus being the struggles of being understood and acknowledged as a mere teenage child also ties in perfectly when the song is looked at holistically. Also, I do just have to add how Mark's singing voice is literally so pleasant. And I'm glad we've heard so much of it during the NCT 2021 album and in the solo. It blends in well with the diluted guitar and the softer drill trap instrumental in the pre-chorus and also emulates the melancholic vibe that the song is probably trying to present. The perfect harmony between the vocal and the rap parts in the song can also be appreciated highly in the song. The MV is very enigmatic with the concept of a reminiscing and longing for lost freedom evident throughout. I would give this single release a 9 out of 10 because it really hit close to home with lyrics such as Who am I in others' eyes, Who am I, who I'll be, and I can't be the person you want me to be. Here are the individual ratings.
I'm a child, 너가 바란 대로 못 돼. Have a night, 저장간 필요 없다. So I envy
I'm literally such a Greek mythology geek, and it was kinda my whole personality before I became a Kpop stan in 2016. Now seeing an aspect of Greek mythology being used as a whole concept for a music video opened my perspective up a little. TAEYEON portraying Artemis in the INVU music video couldn't have been depicted better because if I were to assign K-pop idols Greek gods or goddesses, I would definitely pick TAEYEON for Artemis. She perfectly exudes that elegant yet righteous vibe, and it couldn't have been more perfect for her. Enough about the MV, the song in itself is definitely one of my favorite releases of February alone. The soft percussion does wonders by highlighting and amplifying her voice throughout the song, and it's the type of song you could sink into your chair with. With the very simple chord progressions and the R&B-esque backing, her vocals are crystal clear, and putting it straight, that's what I really adore about her songs in general. Also, the play of words with the INVU meaning I envy you. Now that's really smart of her. This album was also one I really liked, and although it's not completely no skip, I playlisted almost all of the songs, my favorite B-sides being Siren, Set Myself on Fire, and You Better Not. I would give this one a good 8.5 out of 10 considering the album as a whole. Here's what I thought. I've seen a lot of people instantly jump on the hate bandwagon for this song since its release, and honestly, I see why. The quality of mixing seems, well, shallow, and I think that might be the intention with the song, but it makes the vocals all seem different to each other, especially in the chorus with Namju singing. It's almost as if they use different quality recording mics while singing the respective parts. The overall melody also seems very rushed, almost as if it's rushing to get to the chorus for the sake of a basic drop. The instrumental doesn't blend in very well with the vocals, and it really does put me in a dilemma because of how much I usually adore APINK's music. Vixx, aka Ray, mentioned in her video that Dilemma sounded like a Swedish Eurovision song, and that made me chuckle a bit because of how accurate it is. With the chorus drop being nothing more than a basic 4-on-the-floor beat with an 80s repetitive disco beat attempt and some very reverb-drowned vocals, it's nothing short of Ray's description of it. The MV is nice though, with the regal concept and the long dresses that were generally very eye-catching. I only playlisted 4 songs from the album, including Nothing, Free on Love, Single Rider, and My.st. All in all, I would give this album a 6.5, nothing short. Here's what I thought. Firstly, I feel like everyone generally overhyped this one for me a little bit too much, and I think that hindered me a little from liking it to its max potential. I'm a major fan of the instrumental and the percussive bass that runs through the chorus in fragments, and I feel like the chorus is definitely the highlight of the song. The elongated who part in the chorus is not a personal fave, but I feel like it's more of a need than a want in this case. The chorus would be even blander without this in my opinion, and we wouldn't want an even worse song, would we? I really like the pre-chorus though, and it's honestly a shame because it felt like the only part that was able to build up to something. Haruto's verse after the chorus triggered something in my brain, and boy, it wasn't good. I feel like Treasure has a weaker rap line in general because none of the raps they do actually stand out to me, and neither does their flow or rap turn. Overall, it's better than their first tracks like Boy and I Love You, so this is getting a 6 out of 10. And it's an overestimate because I really like Darari and You from the mini. Here's what I thought.
우린 하늘 위로 본능만 일깨워 이성은 저 뒤로 We gon' ride 소리 쳐지고 끝까지 들리게 내 손 꽉 잡아 no turning back Can't complain 다 그런 거라 해 이상해 왜 긴가민가요 Can't explain 또 특이하다 해 말 못해 왜 긴가민가요
Definitely one of, if not my favorite GWSN, February comeback. No, I'm not petty like that. I do love my girls, but BILLIE did slay this, so I'm not going to be mean. The little funky deep house bass percussion they have going with their songs, for example with Flipping a Coin and now with GINGAMINGAYO, is a perfect definition to their concept, now making it directly parallel with GWSN's sound, this song sounding a little bit like a more modernized version of Pinky Star. The variety between the instrumental parts while also keeping the song intro-cohesive makes this song a very memorable song with a very catchy hook. Gotta give it to Moonswa for their very catchy rap section after the chorus, easily my favorite part in the song. They've compelled me to bump them up from the 2-stan section to my alt section in my stan list. The overall lyricality, however, feels like a heavily ornamented nursery rhyme, especially with the use of the word GINGAMINGAYO in the chorus, which essentially means uncertainty or doubt, tying in well with their lore, which I'm still trying to understand. My takeaways from this album are Believe, Moon Palace, and A Sign. With the addition of My Happiness from Suki trending literally everywhere, thanks to her impeccable J-pop-esque stage presence, I'd give this album a 10 on 10. And everyone say thank you BILLIE for this no-skip album. Here's what I thought. I didn't have any expectations to even begin with, so there were none to actually lower. Especially after plagiarizing all these groups relentlessly and still ending up debuting with a song that fails to put out a foundation to whatever sound they'll be building upon in the future. My problem with this song is probably the same problem everyone else has with it, that it sounds like a mashup of ideas, a mere highlight medley than an actual song. That being said, as a debut, if they had debuted with a song that emulated that middle B section into a full-blown song, it definitely would have fared better than it did. Like, reaching British headlines as the worst song ever? That is really quite a feat. The song isn't monotonous but has the same trap-like bass-heavy ground line throughout the song, and it doesn't show any evolution, deeming that middle superhero section pretty useless. The lack of an actual transition and a well-thought-out composition for the intro section doesn't favor their case either. I.O.I was holistically an awful attempt of a debut song to retain originality among newer 4th gen groups and failed to adhere to something the listeners could actually grasp in the song. It's a shame because their voices are actually pleasant and powerful enough for a rookie group, and they could have definitely showcased their vocals through the means of a different song. I didn't like Tank that much either, but it was definitely an upgrade from whatever this was. I'd give this debut single a 3 out of 10. Here's why.
So I wrote to you. So I wrote to you. 선을 넘는 거라도 over and over. 다쳐도 괜찮아. I wrote to you. So I wrote to you.
Can we talk about how StayC literally ate this up? This whole song has an underlying hyperpop-esque beat with the addition of a persistent bass line, and honestly, I think that's a significant feature in the song that adds to its flair. The chorus feels like a parade with the brass instruments as a drop and the bass in particular. Jay's rap after the fast chorus felt very off-placed, and although I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there at all, I would have liked it if it was, say, after the bridge as a refrain section. The pre-chorus and the transition to the chorus both feel very ambient and celestial, yet the lack of their iconic catchphrase "StayC Girls It's Going Down" really bothered me more than I thought it would. This could very well tie in with Stereotype in being their best title to date, in my opinion. With all 6 songs instantly playlisted, this album was easily one of the best albums this month, along with BILLIE's, my track takeaways being 24/7, Young Love, and Butterfly. I would give this album a solid 10 out of 10, nothing less. Here's my individual ratings.
A pity party. I'm WJSN in the party. I want you.
And that's it for the video. I apologize if I've rambled on for quite a few of the songs because even though there weren't many that releases this month, I had quite a lot to say. Personally, February was a quite extreme month in terms of releases either being amazing or not great at all. But let's keep hope for months to come. This is Aloka signing out for the day.